Elves in Lego Castle? Grab a drink and pull up a chair because it's time for a new legend in Lego Tavern Talk. Well, Brad, you might say, there's no Lego Castle themes with elves in it. And to that I'd say, technically you're right, but that's not entirely true. To tell this tale in full, I'll have to go back to the year 2007, when Lego Castle, or as we know it, the fantasy year of Castle, was released. The first time the elves are mentioned is in a LEGO Club magazine from 2008. The word Elflands can be found on a map of the castle realm. What are the Elflands? And no, I am not talking about Elvendale from LEGO Elves. In the top left of the map, above the western lands, there's a picture of an elf with a bow and circular shield, with a bow and arrow symbol on it. Above this depiction is the words, the Elflands, with a description that says a deep woodland of mystery and magic. This was the first time the Elflands were ever mentioned. The second time is 4 years later in the bio of the CMF Series 3 elf minifigure. Hailing from the deep within the mystical forests of the Elflands, north of the Great Western Kingdom, the elf is a skilled master of the longbow and a wilderness scout without equal. He can walk over dried leaves and brittle twigs without ever making a sound, leap effortlessly through the tall treetops, and track a troll raiding party for days with no rest. You may have heard the elves are mystical and secretive people, but in fact they'll be happy to tell you about their musical artistry with harp and panpipes, their sworn friendship to the beasts in the woods, and their quest to rescue the enchanted golden goblet from the cavern of the Emerald Dragon. And then they'll break out the epic poetry. There is much nonsense in this, but there are some important points to take away from it. First off is the mention of the Western Kingdom, and that the Elflands are north of it, just like we saw on the map. And second is the mention of troll raiding parties. Trolls are one of the other factions in the fantasy era of Castle, and are foes to the Western Kingdom and the Dwarf Kingdom to the south. The third time the Elflands are mentioned is in 2017, in the bio of the Series 17 Elf Maiden. Hark! I sense a venture to the horizon. Most elves are content to keep hidden within the woods of the Elflands, but the Elf Maiden has decided that her calling lies beyond their fabled borders. So with sword and shield in hand, she has set out to seek adventure in the great unknown, searching for villains to thwart, towns to protect, and prince and princesses in distress who could use a helping hand. The Elf Maiden is clever, quick to make friends, and very determined. Once she sets herself a path, she always sees her course through to the end. If she only has one regret, it's having brought an enchanted golden singing sword along on her journey. The tunes are nice for long walks, but it's really hard to get it to stay quiet when she's trying to complete a stealthy quest. And this was the last time that I can find that the Elflands were mentioned. So from all of this, what can we learn about the elves? First off, they are located north of the Western Kingdom in woodland that is filled with mystery but lots of magic. Part of the magic does seem to come from magic items like the singing sword and the enchanted golden cup. The elves keep more to themselves inside the boundaries of the woods. They take care of the beasts of the woods and are lovers of music, laughter, and poetry. They do seem to keep their distance from outsiders, but are happy to talk with those who come into their lands. Even so, they do seem to be enemies of the trolls and skeletons. Even though this faction was never turned into an actual LEGO theme, just the words Elflands brought many LEGO Castle fans joy, thinking LEGO would one day bring us a castle theme full of elves and magic that wasn't made of mini dolls. And sadly, that's where this tale comes to an end, spanning over 10 years and bringing many sadness and hope of what could have been. I hope you enjoyed that pint of castle knowledge.